Bill Maher sparred with liberal author Sam Harris over comedian's dinner with President Trump last year at the White House.
In a recent episode of the Club Random podcast, Harris said he would not have accepted President Trump's dinner invitation were he in Maher's shoes. Let's listen.
I wouldn't take that. I could not have taken that invitation.
Yeah, that's you.
So yeah. But that's the thing. It's like it's not. I completely understand why you went. I mean, it's totally convincing.
But I honestly feel like your position is not someone who wants to actually make the country better.
Well,
it's someone who just wants to wallow in Trump hate,
well,
which is fun to wallow in.
You know I want to make the country better, and I'm not wallowing in anything.
I think he's wallowing just a little bit. Maher defended himself after Harris said Trump's a great host and it's easy to get charmed by him. Let's take a listen.
It wasn't about the fact that he's charming. It's about the fact that I was able to have a human conversation with him without the bluster, without the "how dare you" or what we're back to.
Okay, but how
calling me a jerk?
Do you think you had a human conversation with him, given
Totally.
the way he's spun the conversation since?
No, but he. First of all, again, we have been in communication since then. This is a year later.
President Trump mocked Maher in a Truth Social post last month, saying Maher was, quote, extremely nervous, had zero confidence in himself during their dinner. Trump also complained, saying Maher is, quote, highly overrated and had not been sufficiently supportive of his government on his show since the dinner.
Meanwhile, Maher had praised his meeting with Trump last March, saying, I'm just taking this as a positive that this person exists because everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent at least on this night with this guy. I'm getting a little sick of talking about this dinner like it was the most important,
End it all
settlement that ever took place. I don't know.
It wasn't like Kamala and Trump sat down and hashed out their differences even.
Right, I was going to go even more.
Oh, bigger than that.
Bigger
like
than
world
that.
powers
Yeah,
sat down and hashed it out.
I don't know. Kennedy and Gorbachev or something. Or, I don't know. Whatever it is. Not Gorbachev. Who was I thinking of? Khrushchev. That's what I was thinking. Didn't make any sense.
So you think they're putting too much on this for Bill Maher? They're trying to give him grief.
He keeps referencing it. And to be clear, Trump has also referenced it repeatedly. He called out Maher in that long Truth Social post. It was like, okay, get a break, man. Like, who cares?
Everybody get over this.
Like, this is getting very tedious. Sam Harris is a world-class Trump hater, Trump despiser, obsessed with Trump, very serious case of TDS. Likely cannot be cured at this point. So sad. Hate to see it, but I don't know what. I'm not super entertained by the three of them just talking about how much they hate or tolerate Trump. I don't know.
I think there's a gray area with a lot of things. I think, just like I said, that Mamdani going up to the White House and having dialogue with the president who just is the president, or somebody who is going to be president, or somebody who's in the running but might win. You have to work together with that person or alongside them for 4 years, or just sit in complaint and yell and scream for 4 years. Either way, either something gets done or nothing gets done. And Bill Maher doesn't directly have to work with the president, neither do other media figures, but they have to cover him and understand. And maybe if you have a sit-down conversation with somebody, just like we see Kristen Welker on Sunday shows interviewing the president, doesn't mean that, and I know that's more of a work capacity, it doesn't mean that she's taking a side, it means that she's trying to understand. I think a sit-down dinner is some of the best places to actually understand, without the cameras, someone that you talk about every single day. And even if they're just straight up lying or showing you their most charming side, you still have some more nuance to your thought.
Also, people you just disagree with totally can be nevertheless charming and agreeable in person. I have meals, I socialize with people who I totally disagree with. Probably also there are reverse cases where there are people I completely agree with but would not enjoy socializing with. Obviously, I don't spend much time socializing with people I don't like socializing with, but it happens now and then.
I wonder about why people are so obsessed with this Bill Maher dinner. I mean, Mika and
Maher's
Joe.
obsessed. Everybody's obsessed.
I know, but Mika and Joe also met with the president.
Well, there's a certain
in
kind of
Florida
liberal
about
who
the
thinks
conversation.
Trump is a Nazi and a fascist and a Hitler, so it is so offensive even breaking bread with him, even sitting down with him.
But that's what I'm saying. Mika and Joe are probably on what people consider the most liberal cable news network out there, and they sat down with him.
Well, but people are furious with them too.
I know, but people now, what are we, a year more later? People are still obsessed with just specifically Bill Maher, and Trump is not Mika and Joe come at the president and the administration every single day, pretty much, when I watch the show. The president is not on Truth Social saying, first of all, morning, Joe. Like, for some reason, they get spared, but Bill Maher does not. Like, I don't understand. Like, there's a lot of people who, Mamdani has said things about Trump after he left, but he's not getting attacked every single day. He's still up there for the second time, having a new conversation, looking like he's respected. So I don't really understand what the...
doesn't watch some of these other things.
Yeah, I mean, the way that he decides randomly.
Well, it's not random. He watches TV.
Yeah, but what about Mamdani? Why does he still have everything nice to say about Mamdani?
Yeah,
you know, he just random. It's just random at this
hold
point.
to a higher standard people who are kind of like, this is like, left people are always fighting with other left people who they agree on 99% of the things with, but denouncing them as traitors to the movement. And it happens on the right too. People on the right feud with each other even though they mostly agree on things. I mean, there's a lot of bitter, you go after the person who's mostly on your side for perceived defections, and sometimes more than you go after someone who's just, I mean, like, I'm more likely to point out if, not Mehdi Hasan, dear Lord, Cenk Uygur or Anna Kasparian, say so, even though they're lefties, but if they say something I agree with, I'll be like, oh, and even they said something I like, even though they say things I don't like more often than not. Whereas on the other way, if whoever it is on Matt Walsh says something I don't like, I might say, and I disagreed with Matt Walsh on this. I mean, that's a bad example because I often agree with his takes, but you know what I'm saying.
I get exactly what you're saying.
Some conservative or right-leaning person says something I don't like, I'm going to call him out.
I think people probably looked at Bill Maher and said, it seems like your tone overall has been more condescending toward Democrats, even though a lot of merit to what he's saying when he calls Democrats out. People are
Democrats
saying,
annoy him more because it's his side.
I know, but people are like, listen, ever since you met with Trump, we feel like you got a little salty towards the party. And so they naturally have an attitude like, well, you seem like what team are you on? If every time you have something to say about a decision we make as a party, you're criticizing it. So then tell us what the other plan is.
Candace Owens annoys me personally more than any other figure on the right probably because we're both hosts of alternate media YouTube shows that cater to a significant conservative or alternative independent leaning audience that isn't afraid to ask questions and doesn't accept mainstream narratives and is skeptical of the government and is skeptical of the foreign policy consensus. And on paper, that's a lot of similarities, but I hate her. And
I can't believe you're
personal. That's why it is. That's how it works.
You might have CDS.
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. I
Candace
fully admit that.
I want you to let it go. We're going to go to a yoga retreat coming up here.
I will.
Pretty soon. So that you
Lindsay,
can release yourself from it. Why do you
never...
You have to detach.
Ever participate in a yoga retreat.
Oh, look, Mark, I'm going to clip this out.
No yoga.
I'm going to clip this out. If I get...
Catch me doing yoga.
Don't ever bet me.
Ever.
Don't ever bet me in your life. Because if you lose, I promise you're going to be right at a yoga retreat. In yoga pants, full yoga outfit.
Absolutely not.
Okay. We have more to talk about. Stay with us on Rising.